Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. Lakshita, you can
Can you
introduce.
hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
All right. I have been trying
Just a
to.
second, Lakshita will be introducing the session, and then
Okay.
we can go.
A very warm welcome, everyone, and also our beloved instructor Wildcat. Today, we will be commencing with the third day of Intro to Ethical Hacking course. Previous 2 days have been a great experience for you as well as for us, and we will be continuing this march till we didn't succeed. So, grab your keyboards and mouse, guys, and with not much delay, let's begin with today's session.
Yes, sir, we are ready to go.
Okay. Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, hold on a little bit. All right. I'm going to begin immediately. So, hello everybody. I'm sorry for the delay. I've been trying to join, but it wasn't working out. Um, I'm sorry. Yesterday my screen had issues also, but it doesn't look like I'm going to be facing any issues today. So let's see how it goes. I hope it goes on smoothly. So yesterday I was trying to explain to you um, the CIA triangle, and I think that is where we stopped. The
Yes, sir,
CIA
we stopped
triangle.
on CIA triangle.
All right. Just a little bit of a little recap on that. I said the CIA triangle is basically a process, or it's basically uh, parameters that has to be met for your information to be secure. So what are those parameters? They are confidentiality, integrity, and availability. What I said was when your information is confidential to only authorized users, when your information is not tampered with, it has the integrity, and when your information is available to only authorized users, you can say that the information security is met. I hope you understand that. So, um, so the next one we have the SFU triangle. Am I right? So, basically, the SFU triangle, this idea or the idea of this concept is to define the balance of the information system, and its main objective dictates that when security goes up, functionality and usability goes down. It's more like the same CIA triangle, and let me see if I have something to draw that for you. Uh, Let me see. Okay, paint. Let me see if I can use this to paint it out for you. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
All right. So just like the CIA triangle, we also have the SFU triangle. And what we have here is S, which stands for security. What we have here is F, which stands for functionality. And what we have here is U, which stands for usability. According to the explanation I gave, or the definition I gave, said the idea of this concept is to define the balance of information system. Your information has to be secured, not just secured, it has to be balanced. It has to be balanced in the sense, considering three parameters: the security of that information, the functionality of that information, that is the features of the information, and the usability of the information. How often do you use the information? You understand? The more often you tend to access a particular information, the more its security tends to be at risk. I hope you understand that, because then you have to break through authorization each time you have to use that particular information. And then it says, um, the info. Okay, okay. It says its main objective dictates that when security goes up, functionality and usability goes down. That is, when security of a particular information is increased, when the authorization needed to access a particular information is increased. Probably you have three or more authorization methods. When you increase them, the functionality of that particular information and the usability, which is also the accessibility of that information, is reduced.
Excuse me,
I
sir.
hope you understand that. Yeah.
Yeah, can you be a bit loud? They're facing some issues with it.
Okay.
Your audio
I
is,
will.
yes, sir.
All right. I will. I will. Sorry about that. Okay. Let me have this position very well. I don't think we will experience any of these issues, because when the paid sessions begin, I will have to get a microphone and things to give you a better environment and a better lectures. So I think you understand the SFU triangle.
Yes,
Let
sir.
me write this for you so you understand. So the SFU triangle, definition. You complained of audio just now, so let me just type the definition for you so you understand it. I hope you can all see this. This one, when security. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And also, these attributes are interdependent. Let me write that for you. These attributes are interdependent because they affect each other in different ways and levels. Yes. Sorry about that. Okay. So please note, this is what I mean. This is the SFU triangle. Uh, you know, like yesterday we talked about the other triangle, which is CIA triangle. CIA triangle. So in the CIA triangle, what we have at the middle is information security. Let me write that because I want you to understand perfectly. Information security. For those persons who are having audio issues, what we have in CIA is to these are the parameters. These are the parameters meant to secure your information, confidentiality, integrity, and availability, and to keep your information balanced. We have the SFU triangle. Information balance, please note that, because it is very important when you begin uh, when you begin properly in the paid sections. You will need these ideas, you understand, to be able to protect your information and know when your information is at risk. And also, when you take jobs for companies, you have to put this in consideration, because they will put it in consideration. And if these parameters are not met, it means the information you are dealing with, which is supposed to be kept confidential, is at risk. So, what we have next is um, oh yeah, we have the aims. Is that right? Is anyone listening? Okay. So, is anyone listening, please?
Yes, sir. We are
Yes, sir.
listening.
All right. So, please, if you have any questions as regards what I've taught in previously, please, I want you to speak up, please, in case you don't understand anything. Is there any question?
We have not got any question till now.
Okay. So, according to the modules, what we have next is the aims of ethical hacking. Um, Please, I want to explain something to you, and I want you to understand the between difference between hacking and ethical hacking. This will bring us to the aims. You understand, because the aims of ethical hacking is quite different from the aims of hacking. I hope you understand that. So, let us quickly look up something online, and then I explain aims of ethical hacking. I want you to understand the difference, please. Okay, I want it as defined as by Green Campus. Yes, you can call it goals too. All right, we have it. So, in the aims, as regards ethical hacking itself, the aims. Why do people actually do this? The aims of ethical hacking. The first thing we see there is to gain access to systems. Hope you understand that. Please hold on a little bit. Let me go back to where is it called? It's, Oh yeah. Please hold on. Hold on. Hold on. So, information. Okay. What I have here is characteristics of information, important characteristics of information. That is what I have here. What I am seeing in the modules that was written to me is aims. Okay, I will get back to that, but then I have to treat the importance of ethical hacking first. Important characteristics of information. Okay, are you listening? It says the important characteristics of information. Please let me write that out so you understand. Important characteristics of information. It says these are also the CIA triad. That is the CIA triangle. You know, we had a confidentiality, we had integrity, and we had availability. They are also that, but this includes authentication and non-repudiation. I will write that out. Number one, we have confidentiality. Two, we have integrity. Three, we have availability. This is the CIA triad, but then not just that, we have authentication, and we have last non repudiation. Yes, I hope you understand this. Okay. I have explained to you already what this tree means. So authentication itself, it is basically verifying the data and transactions and other parameters to ensure they are genuine, and only the right or authorized persons have access to that particular information. And there are different kinds of login mechanisms, you know that, and login mechanisms itself, it's usually used to verify the authentication of or to verify the authenticity of users. I hope you understand that. You know, if before you could log into an account, probably a social media account, you have to first of all prove that the person who wants to log in is authentic. And what is provided is a login form where you put your username and you put a password. Now, this is a login mechanism. They also have other mechanisms to differentiate between robots and human beings. I hope you have seen that. Probably you could be asked to select some images. You could be asked to copy some selected words and alphanumeric stuffs and copy them. Could be asked to solve a puzzle. This is mechanisms that helps you to access some particular information, and there are some characteristics of information. Actually, they are the very important characteristics of information, and they have to be met before you can guarantee that your information is secure. Now I'll be explaining everything, the five. I'll be explaining the five with your social media account, but then this word here, non-repetition, it is a mechanism used to indicate information has gotten to an end. So the person in charge cannot deny not receiving or sending information or data. I will explain that casually. You understand, when you messaging your friend on WhatsApp, on Facebook, or some other stuff, you send a message and then you get a feedback or a notification that your message or your information that you passed has been delivered. This is what it means actually. So even if the next person denies that, oh, I haven't seen this message, I haven't read it, it has not delivered, you have received the feedback already. that that particular information has been delivered, has been read, and has been seen. I hope you understand that that is the meaning of non-repudiation. Sometimes when you want to store very important information and then you're sending it to a particular server, it is designed in such a way that the server has to reply back and say, oh, I have seen the message, I have gotten the information, and I have read it, gone through it. So any person who is in charge of that who should not be able to deny not getting the information or accessing the information. I hope you understand these characteristics of information. Is anyone listening?
Yes, sir.
All right. So those are among the important characteristics of information. But then, in some cases, you don't have to include the authentication or non-repudiation. In some cases, those are not included, and that is where we have the CIA triad. That is where we have this. You understand? That is where we have this entire junk, information security, CIA triad. Because in every information stored, or for every information stored, this CIA triad has to be met. You understand? They are the major ones inside these five. You understand? These first three are the major ones inside the five. So, if you have any questions, please ask before we move into the next one.
Sir, we can move to the next one. There is no question
Okay.
till now.
Okay, I just want to explain. So, those who do not have any idea at all, those who are totally beginners, they have to understand. So, hold on. And then we have phases of ethical hacking. Yeah, I think I have to explain that. Phase, phases of hacking. Yes, while trying to access a particular network, a particular system, or a server, there is what we call a methodology. You understand? You have the phases inside the methodology. It depends on which methodology you use. You could use whatever kind of methodology will get there. But there are the phases of hacking. The very first phase you have to encounter while trying to perform any kind of hacking. I mentioned lock picking, I mentioned social hacking, I mentioned cyber hacking, I mentioned types of hacking. So while trying to perform any one of them, there are different phases. But the very first you must encounter is information gathering. You must gather information about your target. So I am going to write them out and explain them gradually. This is information gathering or footprinting or okay. So what we have next is scanning. What we have next is vulnerability. Oh, sorry for that. Vulnerability analysis. Or penetration testing. Then we have fifth one, which is maintaining access. And also officially this is what you have actually when it comes to hacking, just hacking. But then when it becomes ethical hacking, you have a sixth one, the last one. I don't know if you can guess, but it is report writing. Yes, have to write a report back to whoever you got the job from or whoever you're working for, or you can also call that documentation. Documentation. So I will explain this one after the other. So this. So before I go on, can anyone confirm? Can you hear me, please?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay. So for the very first one, we have information gathering, footprinting, reconnaissance. So information gathering, it's basically to gather information about your targets, and uh, our target usually knows when you are gathering information about it. So we have the active information gathering. Is let's have it right. So we have the active information gathering, and also we have the passive information gathering. And for the active, it includes methods of information gathering that might uh, trigger intrusion detection systems, honeypots, firewalls, that might get your target to know, oh, someone is tracking me, someone is finding information about me, someone is trying to look for something confidential about me. You have all those in the active. I will have to go through this again because there are more in-depth things as regards information gathering. I think we have before I mention that, I have to explain this. Also, we have the passive information gathering. This is searching for information about your target in a way your target will not find out or be triggered or know something is going on. And this is usually called OSINT investigation. OSINT. It is basically just information provided online or free information about your target that you are supposed to know. Probably you got a job and they ask you to do a penetration testing on Facebook. The free, probably you've not heard Facebook before, so the free information you have online is you go online, you browse what is Facebook. It explains to you that Facebook is a social media company. It's very large. The This is their IP address, blah 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 blah. So many things, and those are among the passive information, like information you get online. Those are the passive information, but those you have to search into the system, do some ping, do some let me also turn on my machine, please. Pardon me. Let me turn on my machine. I have to. Uh, okay.
Sir,
So
we can wait for a few seconds to show the attendance form so that students can take a screenshot and fill it after the session, and also show the messages in Discord in case you missed it.
please.
So we will be just showing the attendance form link.
Okay. Should I stop sharing?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You can take the screenshot. The response will stop by 7:40. All participants are requested to take the screenshot and fill the form. It is compulsory for the certification. Yes, sir. Now we can go with the session.
All right, we can go on, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, I was talking about information gathering. So, like I said, information gathering. So, I have to show you quickly a little bit what I mean by that because it is a very, very crucial step before you begin any process of hacking. You must gather information. So, okay, my machine is setting up. So, like I said, there are different methods and means to gather information about the target. But basically, they are classified into two groups: the active and the passive. You understand? It has so it footprinting. It's is the same as information gathering, but it is basically focused on uh, using the internet. You understand? It is basically we're focused on using the internet to search for footprints of the particular target. I hope you understand that. I will show you some tools. You have spider foot, you have ping, you have so many things you use for footprinting. I will give you tools and show you things you can do. Also, please hold on, let me log in. Is that right? Okay.
Sir, we cannot see your screen.
You cannot see my screen.
No,
Okay,
sir.
okay. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I forgot to share. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir. Now it's
Okay.
Yes, sir, now it is visible.
Okay. So let me log in so I show you what I mean. Uh, we are still on footprinting. We're still on the first one, information gathering or footprinting or reconnaissance. So, well, I hope you understand the basic idea of information gathering, right?
yes, sir. But we can go with the basic.
Okay. So what we have next is scanning. Scanning is basically to use to identify the network topology of your targets. Probably you want to hack into a website, a server, an application or whatever. You have to scan it, and one of the favorite tools we use in scanning is Nmap, network mapper. That tools to scan, and so it is necessary step when the information. What you do next, scan for scan for uh, you scan for types of things to be able to build it to be able to of your. So let me show of scan. So this interface. So I want to scan something, and what would I scan right now? Okay, first of all, let me scan Facebook. That please do not do that with your system. So let me say that. Okay, I just go with Facebook.com. I have to ping, and we've gotten the IP address. So now I want to scan, copy that, and with Nmap scan. There are different kinds of scanning. I will teach you that. We will use that in the future. So let me just scan for ports. Let me see what it gives. And while we're waiting for that, I have to go on to the next, which is vulnerability analysis. Please, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. We can see your screen.
Okay. So basically, I just scanned Facebook, and Facebook is aware that I just scanned it to get the open ports. I will explain all this in the future, the meaning of all this. So these ports are open and these are closed. So where was I? Where was I? Where was I? So I just did a little bit of scan. So what we have next is vulnerability analysis. Now I want you to imagine um, your house, a house. Let me write it here so you don't miss it. So I want you to imagine a house with windows only. Hmm? Now the windows in this case serves as port numbers. What are port numbers? These are port numbers. You have 25, 80, 443, 587, 843, 5222. So those windows in the house serves as the port numbers in the house. And it doesn't have a door, but then it has rooms, and those rooms they offer services through that window. I hope you understand that. What I want to explain is vulnerability analysis, but then I want to give you a little bit of a little background so you understand what I have to say. So each room in that house, each room in the house has one window, and the room offers different services. You understand? In reality, let's say a particular room is the children's bedroom, the master bedroom, the visitor's bedroom. Here, to explain that, let's say one room is SMTP, another room is HTTP, another room is HTTPS, another one submission, and just like that. We also have MySQL and all that. Now, um, to determine to analyze the vulnerability in that particular house, you could walk around the house and look for which window is the weakest. You understand which window is the weakest, and uh, you search around, and because you have understood and you have properly gone through information gathering, you have properly gone through scanning, and you understand these concepts, the first two, then you understand how the house should be. You know what the security levels should be like, and if you find any window with a lesser security than that, you have properly identified a vulnerability in that house. You have identified a vulnerability in the entire house, and it could be that probably one window is not locked, one window is broken, and something like that. So what you have done is vulnerability analysis. It is basically to identify the weak points in a particular system, in a particular network. And in this case, the network would be your house with windows only. I hope you understand that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that is for vulnerability analysis. It is basically to identify the vulnerability in a particular system. Now, there are types of vulnerabilities, and they are classified into four. And the very first type of vulnerability we have is information. The second type is quite logical, though. The second type is no. I think we're having five or so. Low vulnerability. The third type is um, medium. The fourth type is high vulnerability, and the fifth type is critical vulnerability. You understand? So um, I will give instances and consequences of each type we are having in later sessions. So I have to move on to the next one. And also, I have to tell you, when performing vulnerability analysis, it is just basically to identify the weak points. But then when you move on to the fourth stage, exploitation or penetration testing, it is basically to exploit those vulnerabilities third stage. As and you have to go through the first, before the second, before the third, before the fourth, and before the fifth. I hope you understand that. You have to go through it serially. You cannot start from the fifth and go to the second and go to the third. You will not achieve what you are supposed to achieve. I hope you understand that. So now we can come to conclude that the fourth one we have in here, exploitation or penetration testing, is basically to uh, um, exploit, or yeah, it's basically to exploit what you have discovered to be the weakness. And if you are an ethical hacker, after exploiting these weaknesses and you have gone through the fifth stage, which I'm going to explain, you write a detailed report. After you have exploited, you write a detailed report and send. Also, if you do not intend to exploit penetration, yeah, if you do not intend to exploit the vulnerabilities, you can just analyze the vulnerabilities and you write a report on those vulnerabilities and send it to you as an ethical hacker. But of course, whatever your gain is, probably if you discover the vulnerabilities, you can go on to exploit them and you create a backdoor. I think we will get to that in the page section. How to create backdoors and payload and hack Android phone servers and all those things. We will get to that. So after maintaining access, a very good example of maintaining access is probably when you have hacked an Android phone. Now you always want to be able to log into that phone, or you always want to be able to get into that phone. You create a backdoor, and that backdoor could be with the payload. Uh, and Yeah, sorry about the noise. And that backdoor could be a malicious application inside a legitimate application. You understand? So the person who installs, whoever installs the legitimate application, believes to have is or believes to have installed a good or a pure file, but then you have a backdoor inside. I will teach you how to do all of that in later sessions. And also, we have report writing. I will teach you this too. I think we are almost out of time, so I will have to explain the last one or the last two in detail: maintaining access and report writing, for you to understand. So, without wasting much time, I have to go on to the next one for the next 5 minutes. So, but please, any questions about this?
No, sir.
Till now, we have not received any question.
Okay, so what we have next is please let me get my phone. All right, what we have next is types of attacks. Types of attacks. So, let me write that for you to understand. Types of attacks. Yes. So basically, there are tons of types of attacks. There are so many types of attacks, and I am going to go through some of the most popular types, and I believe you have heard of them before. Hold on, just hold on a little bit. Um, Types of scam. Okay, okay. Schedule. Yeah. Okay. Yes, I'm back. So we have types of attacks. Have you ever heard of phishing? I think that should be common in India.
Yes, sir. That's common here.
Okay. Have you ever heard of brute forcing?
That might be new for few members.
Okay. Have you ever heard of oh god, this thing is okay. We have fishing, we have brute forcing, we have oh sorry, I it just came through my mind and left. Let me kindly go on and check this up again. So we have types of cyber. There are so many, but there are popular types. So I will explain all of them. Like just anything. Just reminds me of what I was thinking. Types. Yeah. Okay. So instead of reading all of this, I am going to explain. Okay, this is what I said phishing. So we have denial of what the shit is this? Oh, we have denial of service. Denial of service attacks. Let me write that down for you. So we have denial of service. Also, these I just want to beat time. We have man in the middle attacks. We have phishing. This is a type of phishing, so it's not so we have spear phishing. Those are types of phishing. We have ransomware. I will explain all of that. Just we have MITM. We have ransomware. Ransomware is becoming common nowadays. Password attacks. Password attacks could be online or offline at times. So we have SQL injection. I will explain that SQL injection. I'll explain that so the beginners have to understand properly. URL interpretation. I think we have to skip that for now. DNS spoofing, session hijacking, okay, brute forcing, okay, web attacks, insider attacks, viruses. We can call these viruses or malicious attacks. Because if we do not only have Trojans, we have viruses, we have worms, we have all those things. I will explain that. Yes, cross-site scripting, eavesdropping. This one is basically physical. We're almost running out of time. Malware attack here, like I said. Yes, all right, so I will explain that. And we are going to practice every single one of all these attacks in the paid session. There is a lot to explore on the paid session, so you tune in for that. This is just an introduction, which is free. So in the paid session, we are going to explore and practice all of these so you understand them, okay? So your certification will be worth it. So the first thing we have is phishing. So you know what phishing is? It is basically sending out a web page or something that looks for a link that looks legitimate, but then it actually takes you to somewhere else that also looks legitimate, but then it is infected with something, probably malware, or have you render your credentials, your information, your data, your username, your password, and things like that. So that is basically what phishing is. It is just to deceive you. It is more like a deceitful stuff. Also, we have brute forcing. You have not heard of brute forcing before. It is more like a password something, password or username attack, or to search for directories in a web server. I think you know what directories are, as files, folders, and things like that in a web server. Brute forcing is basically retrying. Let me write that out. Retrying a particular form with a set of word lists. You cannot brute force without a word list. with a set of word lists. Okay, I think in the modules I sent, okay, in um in the paid version, I will teach you how to create a word list, how to get a word list, where to get the word list from, and everything. It is actually very interesting. So it is retrying a particular form with a set of word lists. Let's say we have in a pardon me, I'll be quick with this. Let's say we have a form and we have username. So type in your username and type in your password. Now, for instance, I know your username probably because we are on the same social network, and your username is I cannot pronounce this name. I'm sorry, Aditya. Yeah, probably your username is Aditya, and you do not know the password for this particular username. So what do you do? If you have enough RAM on your system and it will be fast, quick enough for you to brute force, you then run a word list against this particular form, and probably let's say the original password. Let's say the original password is 1234. Then you run a word list of different combination of numbers. You understand? Different combinations of numbers. This is where the length of your password becomes very, very crucial. Because if there is anything added to it, it will not work. It has to be exactly. That is why it's called brute forcing. You have to force different word lists in a particular form. Then whichever one is correct, it alerts you and tell you, yes, I found it. This is the one that is correct, and we can log in with this one. You understand? Also, not just login mechanisms, but when searching for a particular directory, probably in your university, your school, you hacked into the server, the network, and you are looking for results. Probably there are so many folders, and you need a particular folder that is called results so that you search through the results and you find people's results. You have to brute force or just search or do whatever you want to do. But brute forcing is one of the methods to search for that particular uh, uh, directory. You understand? So over here, we run different numbers. Probably will run this, and it tells you wrong. It is actually automatical, so it just running so many at the same time. Depending on your RAM, it runs another one, tells you wrong. It runs another one, it tells you wrong, until it runs this one, then it tells you correct. We found the username and we found the password. You can log in with this. You have successfully brute forced the form, which is the person's username and the password supposedly. I hope you understand this.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that is basically what brute forcing is about. It is you have to go do it with the word list. So do I still have time? Do I still have time? Let me see. Okay, I am 5 minutes into your time, and I'm sorry I could not go through everything today. Hopefully tomorrow we will be done with everything. Denial of service, man in the middle around somewhere, and I'm going to add some others so that you benefit a lot, even if it's a free session. And I believe we have come to the end of today's classes. Is there any questions?
Yes, sir. There is a question from one Aman Kumar
Okay.
that while you were trying to do Nmap with the Facebook, you told that don't try with the system. What's the problem if you try with the system?
Yes. Okay, I should explain that, right?
Yes, sir. We can.
Okay. Yes. While I had to tell you not to try it with your system, is because Nmap is a very very noisy scanner. Yes, it tells Facebook. So this particular person is scanning our network. This particular person is getting a profile of our network topology, and it actually takes note of your IP address. You understand? You know your IP address is basically your internet presence, your internet protocol, your internet footprint or whatever. And so Facebook is aware that I scanned their network because Nmap, network mapper, is a very noisy scanner. So to keep you on the safer and legal side, that is why I told you not to do it with your system. But then in the paid sessions, I will teach you how to uh, uh, scan without um, telling or without letting Facebook know that you are scanning them. Or even if you want to let them know, you can also use what is called proxy chains. Am I typing? You can also use what is called proxy chains.
Yes, sir.
This helps you put another person's IP address, like you're sending the request from your IP address. Let me just quickly explain that so you understand. Um, I don't know how to clean this. Okay, so pardon me. So yeah, sorry to get into your time. So proxy chains basically is like having to. This is your own machine. Hmm? Now, this is the client, which is you, and this is the server, which is Facebook, probably. Now, instead of sending your IP address directly to Facebook, hmm, you use proxy chains, which acts as another IP address. They have different kinds of setups or proxy chains. This is the dynamic setup. We have other types of setup. I will teach you that. So each of these have their own IP address. Let's say this one, the IP address for this one is one. Let's say the IP address for this is different, of course, and it has its own respective locations. Is two. Let's say this is the third one. So you send the request from here to here. You send it to here, and this sends it to this before it goes to Facebook. Now, the difference between this first one and this second one is that when you scan a particular network directly with Nmap without proxy chains or other stealth modes, you send your IP address directly to Facebook. But then when you use proxy chains, you send your IP address to a server, and that server takes your request and sends its own IP address to another server, and that other server, which is number two, takes your request and sends it with its own IP address to the third one, and the third one finally uses its own IP address and sends directly to Facebook. Now, Facebook will get a ping, oh, someone is scanning us. Of course, they will know someone is scanning us, and then they have to look, who is this person? You understand? And then they look back and they discover that it is number three who is scanning. You see, you are safe. You understand? It takes a lot of resources, it takes a lot of processes to discover that, oh, this is a a proxy chain, a proxy, yeah, this is a proxy. So it's connected to another proxy, so they have to search for this IP address. It's connected to another one, they have to search for this IP address. It takes a lot of struggles and resources, so they just let it be, and then you are safe. You understand? Your IP address is not known to Facebook because of proxy chains. You understand? So I just wanted to be on the safer and legal side. That is why you have to do this for educational purposes only. That is the reason why I'm teaching you. So have I answered the question?
Yes, sir. The answer is quite clear.
Okay. Is there any other questions?
No, sir.
All right. So are we done? Are we good for today's class?
Yes, sir. We can end the class today now.
All right. And also, I think I have to go back here. Um, Thank you all. Thank you very much for listening to me. I really enjoyed the session. I enjoyed teaching. even though it's for free. I really enjoyed teaching all of you. It helped me learn, and I hope it continues like this. And I hope you all get ready to participate for the paid session, because that will be great, much greater than this. I will have to prepare a lot, get many things ready, and probably go through some other things I have talked about already. But then I will have to add uh, some things I haven't talked about. You understand? So thank you very much. Have a great day. See you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the session.